So I've got a project that I've been meaning to do and kind of looking for the right time. And today is a good time for this. My first welding cart that I ever built was kind of crappy. It was crude. It was a crude welding cart. I'll show you. Yeah, so it was a crude welding cart, and it's all scrap steel. It's rusty steel that I found. Where I placed the wheels on that cart, it doesn't displace the weight very well. And then I also didn't put any handles on it. So basically, like, every time I move it, it's kind of annoying. And it's like just enough annoying. You ever have any project like that where it's just annoying enough that you hate yourself when you have to deal with it, but it's not so annoying that you stop what you're doing and fix it? You know those projects? So that's this one. Today's not great. It's kind of soggy. So we're going to work on this. I'm excited because I get to fix this stupid, annoying project. Let's go. All right, so there's a few things that I want to have on this cart. These are musts. Obviously, the welder. I want to have both tanks for aluminum and for steel on the cart. I want my hood hanging on it somehow, and I need all the cables hanging on it somehow. Those are a must. Now, there are things that are secondary to those that I would love to put on the cart, so I'm going to try to make those happen. One, grinder. We use the grinder all the time when we're welding, grinding off all of our mistakes. So I need the grinder on the cart. It would be great if I could make a spot for the grinder. The second thing that would be great is PPE. If I could be able to hang this PPE on there, that would also be really nice. I use it very often, not all the time, not always the mask, but enough so that it would be really handy to have it attached to the cart. Last thing I would really love to get on the cart is hand tools, clamps, pliers, brushes, things like that I'm going to use all the time. Maybe spare MIG wire. Have that accessible on the cart. That would be really great to have. Anything else beyond that is kind of bonus round, great to have, but it's not the end of the world. But those items I really want to have on the cart. All right, we're on to Saturday number 2. The plan for today is to tack it all together, make sure my concept is gonna work, and then we'll finish welding it and then make this dream come to life. I think carpenters can make really good welders. Not that I'm a carpenter, I'm an electrician, which means I can pretty much do every trade because we're the best. But there's a lot of crossover between carpentry and welding. So if you've done a lot of carpentry, don't let welding scare you. It's just, it's a little bit hotter, but a lot of the same concepts are there. It's just another tool set. That's the only thing. So my next step is a little bit critical. I'm gonna tack weld that bottom piece on there, and then I'm gonna stand it up, make sure it's sitting or standing rather, nice and plumb. Then once they're all four wheels are nice and solid, nothing's janky or weird, then I'll start laying all the rest of the beadwork down. Hey, one thing I couldn't show you because my camera died. I made brackets to hold my tanks, both of the tanks on, and these are just a piece of angle iron. I'll show you right here over the top. A piece of angle iron that I just cut grooves in, and then another piece of angle iron on the bottom to hold them in. I also added a little extra piece here that kind of does something, but yeah. So I made tank holders. You didn't get to see it, sorry. All right, so this is actually day 3. I got up this morning and I was kind of YouTubing some different weld styles, attachments, and things like that, because that's what we do, right? That's what we do. We go on and we do some research and development, and then we go out and we do our project. I'm going to give you all my mistakes and my successes in this build. And at the end, we'll talk about what I should have done or what you could do differently on your build. And maybe that'll be productive for you. All right, this sucker's done. There's a few things that I think you should know going forward about what I would change, and there's a few things that I really like that I think you should really consider incorporating into yours. Let's go over the likes. Number one thing I like about this is that everything I need to start my welding project is on the cart. The clamps are on the cart, the grinder's on the cart, the PPE is on the cart, the hoods are on the cart, everything is on the cart ready to go and ready to access. It's not just in a big drawer at the bottom. Another great thing about this is that because I used scrap steel, the steel is definitely oversized. Some of it was 1/4 inch thick. You don't need that for a welding cart, but it's what I had, so it's what I used. So it's very solid, which is great. If you buy a Harbor Freight cart, I think they'll cost you somewhere between $50 to $100, depending on the style you get. But those are pretty much formed sheet metal. They're pretty flimsy. So this is way stronger than that. One other thing that I love about this cart that you really should do too is the handle. I know that sounds stupid, but I'm telling you, this is a lot of weight, there's a lot of maneuvering, and it's just nice to be able to grab onto a handle and push it around like an old lady at the grocery store. It's really great. That said, let's talk about cost. If you were gonna buy steel to build this, I wouldn't suggest you buy 1/4-inch tube stock to build this thing. You know, you could buy something like 12 gauge or I mean, you could build this out of strut, or maybe 1-inch tube stock. That'd be fine too. If you were gonna buy all brand new steel stock, if you don't have any and this is your first project, which could very well be if you just bought a welder, you don't have a cart and you wanna build one, maybe $100 in steel right now, maybe less. It depends on your dealer. $20 in casters, $20 in MIG wire anyway. So you're looking at, like, depending on the cost of the steel, $100 to $200. Really depends on how rugged you want to build it. If you want to use 1/4-inch material or if you want to use 12 gauge material. So here's things that I would change about this build. Number one, the biggest one, is the casters. 3-inch casters, they roll fine on the concrete, but the tiniest of bump is a pain in the butt to get it over. You gotta give the cart a little heave. Another thing that's not as great about this style of cart is it's not easily transportable. You have the styles that have the larger diameter wheels, a 12-inch or a 10-inch wheel. Those can kind of get you onto a trailer pretty easy. This style doesn't have that. If I was going to transport this, I would have to either take it all apart or I'd have to make a pick. So if I were you, I think in whatever situation you have, if you're going to be transporting it, I would go with larger diameter wheels, and I would probably put a pick point. Figure out your center and put a pick point in the top so you can pick it. Oh, these are killing me. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. If you have any suggestions as to how to make this thing better, let me know in the comments. This has been fun. See you on the next one. Yeah! Getting old. That's okay.
It got stuck.
That's all right.